Be sure to check out Rob Plays. There you can hang out with me while I play video games and talk to you about random life stuff. 8 years ago, I went out and I bought a copy of Modern Warfare 2. And like anybody at the time, or at least those of us who were new, I was not very good at it. I was really bad at it. And so I taken to YouTube to try to figure out ways to get better. And during this time, I came across YouTubers that I still watch to this day, or at least the ones who are still active, CNanners, Hutch, Tabe, Chris Smoove, these content creators that helped me to get better at the game, But I remember watching early videos that they had created when there was this sort of shift, when they began to create videos for a living. Some of them said that's what they did, and some of them didn't. But the fact remained that YouTube was now their source of income, and I was enamored by that. I was like, that's such a cool concept. Being able to do what they love, create game or videos about video games for a living. I want to do that one day. And I started my own YouTube channel about Call of Duty. Never really succeeded because the market was so saturated, but that dream never really died. And I was sitting at home one day, 2 years ago, and I was like, I haven't really seen people who are like explaining the publication histories of characters. They just run over characters and concepts in comic books. And so I was like, why not give that a shot? And I made a video about Jason Wingard, and we were off to the races. 2 years later, this channel is at almost 600,000 subscribers, and it's wildly successful, and it's all because of you guys. But during this time, I began to develop a brand for myself, an ID for, an identity, an online identity that was, that was directly correlated with Comics Explained, or back then it was Marvel Explained. And it was something where when people saw my videos, within the first minutes or seconds, they would immediately know that's a Comics Explained, a Marvel Explained video. And that was my intro. My intro was so unique to my channel. It was unique in a lot of ways. I had people say they loved it all the time. This intro is so cool. I love this intro. This intro is amazing. So on and so forth. And I loved having it there. Back then, though, with YouTube, it was all about audience retention. How long are people watching your video? Well, eventually I took the intro down because of the fact that, within the first minute of the video, when the intro started, I was losing 40% of my viewer base just right off the bat. They were gone because they didn't want to sit through a 30-second intro. Understandable. And so I took it down. The vocal minority on my channel got really, really angry about it, but they were fine. And so, of course, once things changed on YouTube, I brought the intro back. But when I first created that intro, when I first established it, I knew that using music, that wasn't royalty-free by definition, somewhere along the line would cause copyright issues. And so what did I do? I went to the creator of that song and I said, I want to buy this. Bought the song from the guy, got documentation to verify it. Everything was cool. Lo and behold, I'm sitting at home on Friday, somewhere along those lines. Email pops up. A copyright claim has been submitted against your channel. It's weird. So I contact my network and they're like, we'll look into it. Over the course of the next 4 or 5 days, that one email ballooned up to 160. 160 claims against my channel for a song that I own the legal rights to. Literally, the documentation said, you own this song as work for hire. This gives you exclusive rights to monetize this song. My network got it sorted out, which is a cool thing. They're in the process of sorting it out right now. But what does this mean? It means that now I'm not comfortable. It means that now I don't have peace of mind anymore. It means now I've got to go through every single video that I've ever made that has any track in it and make sure that I've got the documentation to back up my ownership of that track, or at least my ability to monetize that track. Every single video. There's 600 and something videos on my channel. To give you perspective, Civil War was a 17 video series. All right, that's 5 hours. 5 hours and 14 minutes to be specific. That's just a 17 video series. 670 something videos. I've got to go through every last one of them. Every single one. Not because I'm being told to, but because it's the only way that I can have peace of mind. For those of you guys who have never really grasped the YouTube content ID system, who for whatever reason have never been able to, adequately understand what's going on despite the multitude of videos that talk about it, in more layman's terms, YouTube's content ID system works like this. But let's say you were sitting at home and somebody steals your car. They show up and they take your car. You bought that car legally. Went to a car dealership, bought it. They had the title shipped to you. The title's sitting in the, in the dresser drawer. Maybe it's sitting in a safe if you're, a little more wiser. But, you own the right to that car. You own that car. Somebody steals it, they take it. Let's say that you're a cautious person. You've got a camera that looks down in your car to make sure that nothing like this happens. And you have the camera footage and you call the cops and you say, hey, police, this guy took my car. In the world of YouTube, they don't look at the footage. They don't look at the evidence that you have to show this person stole the car. They go to the person who stole it and they say, well, Rob says that's his car. Is that true? Well, the thief says, no, that's my car. And so the cops say, oh, okay. And then they go back to me and they say, hey, this guy says that's his car, so there's nothing we can do. That's how YouTube Content ID works. That's it. Now, thank God I had a network to back me up. Thank God I had a network to make sure I didn't get hosed. But imagine the people who don't. The ones who don't. That car would be gone forever. There's nothing they could do. That's how YouTube's Content ID works. So this is good and bad. The good thing is I'm hiring writers. So they're literally going to be transcribing nothing but video. They're going to be transcribing all these videos for the next however long it takes to get them all transcribed. So they're going to get a very good understanding of how I talk, my mannerisms, how I segue from one topic to the next, so on and so forth. The bad is that this is going to dominate my time. It's going to absolutely dominate my time. I'm not going to have time to make new videos, to make videos on new topics. I'll make them where I can. I want to make videos about Psylocke because X-Men Apocalypse is coming up. I want to make videos about Archangel because X-Men Apocalypse is coming up. I had a video series that I wanted to do about the life and times of Apocalypse, literally just covering the history of his character in Marvel Comics, not the publications, not going through the publication history like I did in Apocalypse Explained, providing a chronological timeline of his character, and I can't do that now because I've got to go back through all my videos and make sure that I've got all the documentation and everything to support, the content that I have, because all it takes is somebody to show up and say, hey, YouTube, that's my content. And YouTube's like, oh, okay, well, sorry about your luck, Rob, that's theirs. Done and done. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Somebody just walk up and say, that's mine. And YouTube says, oh, okay, well, whatever. So, for those of you guys, who see this, bear with me. The great thing about this is that it's going to give me a chance to go back and to remaster, more or less, videos that I wasn't really happy with at the time. It'll give me a chance to remaster videos, like The Sentry. It'll give me a chance to remaster videos like, whatever else is there, that I didn't, The Incredible Hulk Explained or something like that, that I wasn't really too fond of when I first made it because it was back when I first started my channel or back before it got to my current point now where I think my videos are more polished and more professional, in terms of how they look and how they feel. But I'll get new content for you guys as soon as I can. But for right now, I'm literally just, doing what I can to make sure that YouTube doesn't screw me over. So, anyway. Yeah, so you guys will probably see repeat videos, videos that were old. I mean, like Infinity Gauntlet, I'll have to remake that, I won't do Civil War just because I've got that 5-hour video for people to watch, but it's, I got into YouTube to have fun. I used to work at a job where I worked all 3 shifts. It was a shift work job. I worked first, second, and third shift every week. I worked all 3 shifts over the course of a week. And I did that every week for over a year. I got into YouTube to get away from that. I worked at that job for 10 years. I never had a regular schedule. I never had a consistent schedule. It was always multiple shifts that I worked. But I got into YouTube to get away from that. I did not get into YouTube to be paranoid about my channel. I did not get into YouTube to wonder, is today the day that I'm just going to see 160 claims against my video for content that I own? That's not why I got into YouTube. I don't know why YouTube has taken this direction. I don't know why it's in this place. I don't know why it's done this. I don't know why YouTube is so willing to, promote copyright infringement if you're a small character or a small, YouTuber. But, I guess not even really, if you're not part of the music industry, they're fine with people infringing on your copyrighted content. If you're part of the music industry, if you're some great big huge record label, well, of course, they'll advocate on your behalf. But for the small guys, it's the Wild West out here. hopefully you have a good network, behind you, because if you don't, you're out of luck. That's just how it is. So, um, I don't know. Anyway, so bear with me, guys. I'll get new content out when I can, but I don't know. I don't even know if I want to make videos on this channel anymore. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.